Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. Today we have the best day one decks for the two new cards, but we need to kick it off with something for those of you who didn't get the new cards. After this, we are going to review both Surge and the new Season Pass card, Esme Cuckoo, but first let's talk Fazar Control. So Fazar has this really great control deck that a lot of people are sort of kicking all sorts of butt with that I wanted to share. If you don't have the new card, this is a reasonably affordable list, something that you can get into fairly quickly. You can find Fazar at twitter.com/FazarSnap. This deck needs both Galacta and Loki. Those two cards are required. Fenris Wolf is important here, but not like pivotal. Cable, Iron Patriot, and Sam are all fine. Cassandra Nova can be Juggernaut. Red Guardian can be Rogue, and Gladiator can be Negasonic. All right, so Loki is the key to the deck. What you're really trying to win with is Loki. Loki is incredibly good right now into like things like Thanos, where you just get all their good cards and not all the stones, and that's very strong. Loki is in a quite strong place. Plus, a lot of the meta is running things like Surfer, a lot of Strange Supreme, a lot of Scream, things that buff themselves, and Shadow King is thus one of the better tech cards, and there's very few decks that can actually run Shadow King. Fenris Wolf is a pair with Gladiator and Shang-Chi in this list. Gladiator is will destroy a card 90% of the time, and if you don't get one with Gladiator, you get one with Shang. You can also manage to get one with Killmonger. A demon is not a bad pull here, turning Fenris into a 2/9. Any of that is really good stats, and that's fundamentally how Fenris plays. Cassandra Nova is just decent power. It also gives you a better matchup into Thanos, where she's often like a 3/9 as well. From there, we have Luke Cage. If you don't want to lose to Afflict, Luke is a really good card to add. Fundamentally, turning off a lot of what that deck does is obviously very important. That is what it's doing here. It doesn't really have any extra value. This is a tech deck, and it's just trying to have tech for everything. From there, we go to Killmonger. Again, Thanos' stones are everywhere. There's suddenly a lot of Victoria Hand playing a lot of one drops. Killmonger is insanely good in the meta right now, and Mobius turns off a lot of extra annoying things. Mobius even turns off both of the new season pass cards, making the Esme card be its base cost, and making Surge basically just give a +1 power. So it's powerful against those. It turns off Mockingbird. It turns off a ton of the meta. Red Guardian is your specific card answer. It's here to answer things that other stuff can't. If they leave a Galacta alone foolishly, you can take care of that in that manner. Gladiator good stats, works with Fenris, power must be controlled, envoys must be controlled, and Galacta gives you enough power to really compete here. This deck is a beauty. Let's talk turn by turn. So if you're missing the new cards, this is one of the decks I strongly suggest you play. You can really knock out a bunch of cubes right now if you can effectively throw Prio with this. So turn 1, you want to play Loki. Turn 2, Loki over Fenris. You can always play Fenris on turn 5 later, once you're sure you'll have a use for it. Turn 3, Cassandra Nova over Gladiator over Mobius. Cassandra is only really good on turn 3 here, unless the opponent has a bigger deck. Gladiator, it can go up as Fenris is as Fenris will need a hit, and Mobius when you're pretty sure it's just going to win you the game. Like if they played a Ravona, drop a Mobius, please. Turn 4, Galacta is better than a 3. Galacta is incredibly good right now. It does give you enough power to really compete. Turn 5, control cards and throw Prio. You would generally like to play Fenris here if you haven't yet, along with one of your 3 controls, which is to say you'd like to generally play Red Guardian here. And then turn 6, you want to play Shadow King and Shang-Chi or Shadow King and Enchantress in order to win the game. If you can throw Prio around turn 5 or you have Galacta, you are relatively safe in snapping. Props to Fazar. This is a really great deck. It's relatively budget. I know it doesn't look like it at first glance, but you really only need Loki and Galacta for it, and Fenris is really nice, but not super important. This is a great way to make sure that you are able to A, get better at Marvel Snap, and B, compete with what the meta is doing right now. Before we go to the decks we're going to actually focus on today, please hit that sub, like, and comment. We give you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. If you want more Marvel Snap content than absolutely anyone in this game, please hit that sub and then follow up with a like and a comment. We are also giving away a season pass. Well, we're giving away several more season passes this week. All you have to do is sub, like, and comment, and your comments will enter you to win a season pass. The question for the comment will come later this video, so all you have to do is sub, like, and then later on, you're going to leave a comment to win a free Esme Cuckoo. All right, Surge is the first card we're going to talk about because it's the first deck we're going to look at. Surge is a 2/2. On reveal, give the top card of your deck negative cost and +1 power. After you play it, repeat this ability. I don't like Surge. I think Surge has a few homes. I think Surge is pretty good in Thanos. Thanos is pretty happy to get that discount, especially if it hits stones. And hitting stones makes it really easy to chain. Outside of that, it does not appear to be easy to chain in most decks. So what it's being used for outside of Thanos decks is a pseudo ramp card, where if you want to try and get a Sarah out early, where if you want to try and get a Wiccan out early, it gives you a bit of extra benefit that way. That's not bad, obviously, right? Like you're not sad to have that extra ramp card. It works almost as like an if you're lucky extra Zabu. So that's fine. But it's basically a 2/4 most of the time, right? Like it's fine stats. I don't know. I'm not in love with this card. I think that if you really, really love Thanos, it's worth getting, and it might be good for like going forward in Wiccan decks and the like. But even like in a Wiccan deck, right? Like you play this, and then the three that you would draw now costs two, and your whole curve is screwed up. This card is good, but it's gonna be overrated. I don't think it's very good at all. All right. And again, sorry, let's actually go back for 1 sec before we look at the deck. And again, it's a day, so I reserve the right to change my opinion by the end of the week, right? By the end of time, but like specifically by the end of the week. I don't think that anything has been discovered, and I checked all the decks with it. I played all the decks with it. I stayed up crazy late to playing everything. I don't think any of the decks that focus on this card are especially good right now. All right, so Heart's Surfer is the deck that he hit number one with. He hit Infinite with it and is number one, and then he had to stop playing because he was like the first person to play number one. He absolutely dominated with this deck. But Heart of the Cards is, if you have been here for a while, the best Surfer player in the world. He's basically been in the top 10 with Surfer since he started focusing on Snap. You can find Heart streaming at twitch.tv/Heart of the Card Snap. This deck needs Galactic, Carter, and Makari. Those three are required. Surge can be US Agent, Kate, or Fenris. Copycat can be Mobius, and Red Guardian can be Rogue. Now, I played both that list we just looked at and the general Heart Surfer list, and this list that does not in any way run Surge is just a better list. This one is more effective, it's more powerful. If you're choosing which list to play, I strongly urge you to play the Heart Surfer deck over the without Surge over the one with Surge. However, I did have a really good run rate with the Surge one, so let's talk about it and go card by card. Sorry, if you want a turn by turn for this list, I'm not leaving you out in the cold. This is not a list that we're seeing for the first time here on this channel. We covered it last Friday in our top 10 decks, so if you'd like to take a look at that, please do feel free. All right, so Heart's Surfer is a very strong list. It is fundamentally all right. So let's kick it off with Forge is here in order to hit Brood and Captain Carter specifically. You will play it on two. You almost never skip two with this list in particular, but it's your last choice on two, unless you are absolutely certain you're going to need to get that Brood or Carter down. All good. If not, you're going to be playing Forge on turn 5 with Galacta. Sorry, under Galacta. Turn Sam Wilson is still a better play on turn 2 than Surge. It's a lot of power. 2/7 is really good. Surge, it was not getting near 7 power over the course of a game, and you win game by power, and thus America's better. Surge was fine. If you played it, you were really mostly trying to take Galacta. It also occasionally gives you opportunity to play one of your twos and a three that costs two on turn 4 if you don't see Galacta. Those are fine things to do. They're not amazing, but they're fine. An extra power on Brood or an extra power on Carter are obviously amplified. Brood and Carter are where the power in this deck comes from. Any buff to Brood is tripled. Any buff to Captain Carter, if you can fill the lane, is tripled. Be wary of throwing Prio with Captain Carter, otherwise her stuff ends up a giant Shang-Chi target, but outside of that, they're the two most powerful things in the deck. Surfer buffs everything. I don't know how to explain Surfer in a Surfer deck. You play it on the last turn, it buffs most of your deck, and it's a lot of power. Killmonger is here. We talked about what Killmonger did in an earlier deck. Killmonger is going to be in a lot of decks right now because Thanos is everywhere, and Killmonger at least gives you a fighting chance. Negasonic is really, really good control. If opponents almost fill a lane, you can often just guarantee yourself a win in that lane with Negasonic. It's also a solid play on turn 3, just to frustrate your opponent, make them have to sack something later in the game. Red Guardian is your answer card. It's your only real piece of tech here. Negasonic is pseudo tech, right? But Red Guardian's your only real piece of tech. It shuts things down. While Makari is just free power. If it's surged and it does work with Surge, if it plays itself after Surge, that will count as playing the card. At which point you will have a 3/5 Makari that gives extra. So it's not bad. Copycat in a very good stuff meta is a strong card, and then Galacta is your other strength buff like Surfer, except this one's played early in the game. So rank 1 at Infinite, I went 12-4, 75% win rate, plus 18 cubes. And the weirdest thing in the world happened to me with this deck. This has never happened before. I've hit Infinite every season since the Black Panther season. I didn't hit the Miles season, the very first season, because I don't know what the hell I was doing. But every season since, I've hit Infinite without any trouble, right? Like it's almost always extremely easy. I started playing this in the 80s, and I faced basically like eight straight bots, and I won my ninth game, and I went 9-0, and then I went like 1-4 as bots just decided they had to beat me. Like I was not losing to real people with this list. I was losing to bots that were specifically doing exactly what it took to beat me, and I lost 8 cubes to bots like 3 different times and fell back to the 80s. That has freaking never happened for me, and I'm genuinely confused about what triggered it. But here we are. All of a sudden, just real players were gone, and I was like in like bot, like nothing I was doing, throwing prio, all the general bot farming stuff wasn't working, playing regularly wasn't working. The bots were just cheating bots, and they were taking cubes. So turn 1 you pass, turn 2 Sam over Surge over Forge. Turn 3 Negasonic or Copycat are better than Carter or Buff Brood. Turn 4 Galacta over 3. Turn 5 Forge, or is better than the other twos, and you want to play that with Brood, Monger, or Carter. And then turn 6 is another of the turn 5 threes, and Surfer. At that point, you should be able to win because Surfer is really, really good right now. It can be outpowered. Beware they can be outpowered, but you can compete with Carter in term with almost anything. If Carter is going to represent 15 power all by herself, you're in really good shape, and all of a sudden you can pop up in lanes and just dominate. So it is worth giving this list some love and giving this list a look. I think it is very powerful. It is one of the better Surge decks, but I think that Surfer is better without Surge. Before we go forward, please check me out on twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I'll be streaming twice today, once at 3:15, once at 8:30 p.m. The 8:30 p.m. stream is the podcast with Tucker and Den, where we're going to talk about all the new cards, and the 3:15 stream is me continuing the Infinite Climb. So if you'd like to come check that out, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I'm trying to go a little quickly this video, hopefully you noticed, because it is absurdly late because I streamed for way too long. You can check the VOD right here on YouTube. This is not the question for today. The question for today is, what are your initial impressions of the 2 new cards? What do you think of Esme? What do you think of Surge? Cool? All right. Esme Cuckoo is a 3/4. On reveal, copy a card from your deck into your hand. Set its cost to 3 and power to 4. This one feels incredible when it works. When this card does the thing, it feels like possibly the best card in the deck. Getting a 3/4 Iron Man that you can and copy with Mystique, getting a 3/4 Claw, getting a 3/4 Null. All of these are insanely good, and you're not forced to play the card. So it's been very, very good in Victoria handless. I think that Esme Cuckoo is a legitimately powerful card. I don't think it's going to go in every deck. I don't think it's busted. I don't think it's especially good in the very best deck, Thanos, or the second best deck, Scream. But I do think that it is a worthwhile card to mess with. It gives you opportunities to do things that no other card does in very powerful ways. Plus, if you want to keep the full power of the card, this deck from Unfit Parrot has Luke Cage in it, right? And if you play Luke, the card that you got with Esme will pop its power back up, which is to say your Eliath can suddenly go back up to 9 power. Hell yeah. This is from our friend Unfit Parrot. It is a really, really cool list. I played this a little bit on stream and had a lot of success with it. I think it's really good. So you can find Unfit Parrot. I think he did a video on this if you'd like to see gameplay at youtube.com/@unfitparrot. This deck needs Pixie, Gore, Antivenom, and Esme. Pixie and Esme seem to go very well together. Eliath can be Iron Man here, and Surge and Nico can be Kate Mirage. Just pick your poison for cheap cards. All right, Spider-Ham is really solid into Thanos. Just you're running Mobius, so they're not going to get that benefit, and just saying that screw that Thanos, I don't want to deal with it is pretty good, and you can always play it later in the game and mess with things. Iceman messing with curves is really good. Nico is here largely to draw 2, but turning Pixie into a demon is also really, really nice. You want to draw 2 or demon on Pixie. You will also happily turn Iceman or Ham into demons. The reason you're running 3 ones is so Pixie has hopefully some ones in the deck to turn your cards into when it's played. If you get a 1-cost Gore or 1-cost Lithe, that's usually pretty damn good. Pixie is far better than Surge in this list. I did not like Surge in this list in the slightest. Every time I played Surge, it felt bad. Surge is in the deck, but I don't think it's good. Period. Sorry. Luke Cage is, however, very good. It works great with Esme. It works great with Antivenom. Those cards keep their power, and you get a huge discount. Mobius is amazing after Pixie and a really good counter card into the meta. Esme can obviously hit one of your ones, and you would be sad, right? But it can also I mean, it's Gore, Claw, or Eliath, you feel absolutely OP, and like you can't lose. Hitting Antivenom is not the worst thing in the world either. Anti-Venom works basically the same way as Esme. It gives you a nice cheap card. Again, if you get Claw, Gore, or Goliath and you have Luke, you've basically won most of the time. Claw is a way to steal extra power in lanes, which you love to see. Gore is keyword big, and Goliath is keyword answer the opponent. So I went, this one has a 58% win rate. I had a 60% win rate with plus 13 cubes. Turn 1, you went Iceman over Ham. Turn 2, Pixie over Surge. Pixie is a snap. Turn 3, Mobius of Pixie over Esme over Luke. If Esme gives you a good card, that's a snap. Turn 4, Anti-Venom over 3. If Anti-Venom gives you a good card, you guessed it, that's a snap. Turn 5, Claw or Anti-Venom card plus Luke. And then turn 6, Goliath or Gore. Once in a while, Pixie will completely screw all this up, and you're just going to have to read the board as it is. This one feels really good. I think Esme is quite a good card. I don't think she's incredible. I don't think she's as good as Captain Carter after the buff, but I think she's a good amount better than Captain Carter was before the buff. I think she's probably around Agamotto's power level if I had to put her after the first day. So I think I am fairly impressed with this card and excited to continue to test with it. Our friend A Party, Amanda Party, has bling battles happening, so please do check out her Twitter, x.com/Amanda Party, if you'd like to participate. You can win some free stuff. All you have to do is post on that Twitter post at Amanda Party your favorite gold variant. This could include custom cards if you choose to, and the deadline is 5/12, so go get in there now. The stream team is also live. It is Wednesday as you're watching this, so Game of Flash X will be on from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern, playing these very decks. Patreon.com/snapjudgments is a wonderful way to support the channel some more, and certain tier support come with on-air thanks. Thank you to Bricks2Click, our patron of the month, Abigail Giesen, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, LAB, Inc., I Am Frostman, Hota Neverete, Thinking Poker, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, and Ryan Wood, along with Ren Wrench, Caretixley, Quire, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Perofros, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hallowed, Only Fox, Synth, Fat Nick, Absolute Shandon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Express V and Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Mr. Slush Death, The Kinger Bros, Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kipsy Huda, Luna, Chris, Glam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Silverman, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Craig Sterry, Matt V., and Corey, Corwin, Junk U, and Jimmy McHugh. Cube down, yes, stout, 8th Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for reals, Cactus Jack, Reapser, BG, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe, DeCarlo, Models Mod Supreme, Bickety Boom Bot, Green Goblin, Unibot, Flan 56, The Fuzzy Lump, Spectrum Mix, Hoot, Ocularis, Matt H, DJ Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Nick the Greek Geek, Toxic, Soul King, Zodrex, the King of Canada, Denman, Falcon, Falthor, Newman, Jonesy, Two Chides, the Great Learned Devs, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course, Kenny T, where the T stands for Peace. It is crazy late. I'ma take my butt to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow for 2 streams and another video. Peace.